but I will get there.
We'll get there.
It's going to be great. But AC units,
Okay.
I know exactly what it is. I'm so excited.
I guess we should start it.
I guess
We should start.
it.
Yeah.
Yes. Welcome back to Whyte Noise, friends.
Welcome back to Whyte Noise.
Whyte Noise.
I'm Michael Judson Berry.
I'm Chelsea Jacobson.
Ryan Wilder.
Present.
Hi.
And Ryan and I are going to riff on AC units for 10 minutes, and Chelsea, you're going to choose a winner.
That's right.
I
And it's
can't-
Whyte Noise because we're three white people talking about nothing.
Yeah, we're pretty good background noise if you think about
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Somehow worse than...
We're good
We're
at
like
that.
those people at the table at a restaurant next to you who are just like a little louder than we need to be.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you're like, so what
But
are
you kind
those
of listen
people
in. You're
talking
like,
about?
that sounds interesting.
Yeah, it's like, have you ever
Yeah.
been on a boring date and you just end up listening to the people next to you?
Yes.
Mm.
Yeah, that's always rough.
Yeah, we're those people
Yeah.
for
Oi. Oi.
Feel free to ignore us.
Yeah. Yeah.
you. Welcome to Whyte Noise, a podcast that you don't have to listen
Just
to.
leave
don't
us on
wanna
in the other
listen
room, you know? Leave us on in the room next to you.
Yeah, we're chill. No,
Uh,
we're doing AC units. I'm so excited.
AC units.
AC
Who would
unit.
like to go first?
Oh,
Oh.
it's your call.
Because I won last time.
Mm-hmm.
I went first last time. You go first.
Okay, cool. All right.
Okay, great.
Is it on? We ready to go?
We're ready to go. I'm giving you 10 minutes.
Fun.
Okay. And your time starts now, Ryan.
All right, cool. So I'm going to do my typical little like rabbit hole, little history, right? So
Love
the
it.
history of AC units.
Huge.
So the first kind of documented, let's go with like movement of air,
Okay.
was
Sorry,
second
I'm
century
laughing.
China.
There's a subwoofer outside
Oh,
behind
yeah.
you.
Sorry, there's a parade going
Sorry, I
by
don't
the
mean to
building
be-
right now, and it's loud.
Laughing and interrupting you.
Sorry.
The earth's
It's really
shaking.
helping.
Yeah.
It's helping. But it started, second century China was the first manual fan.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
Then Egyptians and Romans, water and air, like running it through walls or et cetera to help
Oh.
like
Brilliant.
moderate temperature.
Yeah, the Romans did a
Um,
lot. We forget. They
Oh,
were.
the
And the
Romans were
Egyptians.
all over it.
All
and then
over
we went
everything.
into the medieval period,
Right,
which is like
exactly.
where we were like, let's just forget all that good stuff
Right,
and live
exactly.
in poop.
Yeah.
Like kind of literally.
Literally.
I'm
Yeah,
like,
you're not
kind of
wrong.
making
Not
that
kind
up.
of. Like
Europeans
literally.
were like, we just messed it all up.
Yeah, let's.
Just
let's
like, we're going to exchange progress for Christ now for 400 years. Okay.
seems to be a
Sorry.
generic problem.
Yeah.
Um,
yes.
So first real like compressor oriented or like real AC was 1851. And then the first modern AC unit was in 1902 by Willis Harland Carrier. And you'll notice Carrier because Carrier is a kind of a well-known brand of
Okay.
AC, or they make AC units like big industrial ones to small ones that you have in your, at your house, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
And then 1904 was the first World's Fair, and they made the St. Louis State Building, Missouri State Building cold, right? So that was a real
Wow.
feat. 1940 was the first residential one, but the first residential unit was 7 feet by 16 feet by 20 feet. So it was massive. It was like its
Whoa.
own little apartment. It was like its own.
Oh my God.
It was like its own little home.
Wow.
Yeah.
Aw.
Do you know where it
love those
was?
little mini houses.
Like who had it?
I don't. It was that's right. Charles Gates. It was Bill Gates' grandfather.
oh.
what?
No, I made that
Oh,
up.
I
Oh,
was,
shit.
They said the
I
last
was like,
name.
I fully believed you.
I was like, wait, the wealth went up to it's like his grandfather was a billionaire? I don't get it. Okay.
They just love air conditioning.
Yeah.
That was 1914. 1931 was the first window unit, so the first thing
Oh,
that you could place
wow.
in a window and do it. And then 1939 was Packard, first company to put AC in a car.
Okay.
Now, it's kind of funny because if you think about cool air or cooling air, it tends to create fights. Fun fact that World War II was partially started by a fight over cooling. Gavrilo, the guy who assassinated Ferdinand and
World
and
War
so
World War One.
what's World War One?
Oh.
World War One.
Okay.
Assassinated. He was actually at the Bohemian estate, and they had a real tiff about how hot a room was,
Oh.
and he killed them. No, that's actually.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think that's a
Damn
lie.
it!
I was like, what are you talking
But
about?
where I'm going with this, or the point I
Could
was
you-
trying to make, is that actually I think fighting over the AC unit or fighting over the AC in a home is potentially like war.
Yeah.
Oh.
Because it's like it's a relationship thing that gets
Yeah.
kind of nasty.
Testy.
Yeah. So I have this wonderful dynamic in my house.
Mhm.
And you've probably experienced it.
I have. This is why I bring a sweatshirt to your home.
So I am like moderate cold. Like I can, as long as it's low humidity, I'm good with like anywhere from 68 to 72.
Very reasonable.
My husband is more like 65 or lower all the time.
Why?
Yeah, it's cold.
It's cold.
Why?
And the thing is, like, there comes a point where I can't take it. So, like, I'll be like, turn it fucking up. And he'll be like, I'm hot.
Yeah.
So, like, it'll be one of these, like, we have the app to do it. So he'll go do it on the thermostat and then I'll go back over and like, back up. And he's like, I don't know what's wrong with this thing. Yeah, me either. I have no idea.
yeah.
Sneaky.
But we do tend to fight of it. And then we also do it in the car. And this is the thing like we really fight about. So all modern cars for the most part have automatic air conditioning. So, you know, you set the number and like it makes it cold to that number.
Yeah.
Fancy, right?
Right.
Yeah.
No, James has to get in the car and go like all the way down to low. Like all of it low. And I'm like, no. And I'm like, and why did you do it on my side? We have a split system.
Right.
Like, you can have yours on low and I can have mine on 70. It'll be perfect. No, he changes it all. And then I scream at him. And he's like, why do you have to be mean? And I'm like,
because I'm cold.
And I'm like, because you're making me cold. I don't want to be this cold. And then the killer is we get on the road and he'll drop the window and let the hot, humid air back in. And I'm like, what are you doing? And he'll be like, I just wanted some fresh air. I'm like, I don't know how this works.
Yeah.
I don't know how this works.
You literally can't win.
I'm going to
out of
scream.
control.
Yeah. And then
He's out of control.
he'll testify to it. And then the other space that we like have like a problem is we have this house in the mountains and we just got air conditioning put in it, which is fantastic. And in our bedroom, we have a split system, right? And they're pretty efficient. It's like the thing that sits up high on the wall and a little vent opens up.
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
They're really quiet, right?
Mm-hmm.
So ours is kind of fancy because you put it on a setting and it'll disperse the air pretty evenly, like cold air through the room versus blowing it on you.
Sure.
Okay.
Now, James likes to have it blowing on him.
Okay.
And I can't, like, it drives me crazy. Like I used to like sleep essentially with nothing on, but now I have to wear a t-shirt because if my shoulders are exposed, I'm going to get,
cold.
I'm
frostbite.
gonna get frostbite.
Yeah.
So he'll do it in the middle of the night. Like,
I would kill somebody.
I wake up in the middle of the night and suddenly that thing is turned so it's got a focused beam of cold air on the bed. The ceiling fan is going at its fastest possible rotation. And I'm like, I wake up and I'm like, what is going on? What has happened in the house? And then I realize that he's reset all of this stuff and I'll hit him and I'll be like, what the hell? And then like he'll come above sleep and be like, I was hot.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, I'm gonna
kill somebody.
I'm gonna kill you.
Yeah.
So I get back on the app, I readjust everything back to where it is, and then finally go back to this. I sleep with a down comforter on the bed always because he will reliably freeze me out of the house. I've fully adapted to it. How much time do I have?
2 minutes, 47
2
seconds.
minutes, 47 seconds.
I mean, honestly, I would love this because that's how I like it really cold. When I sleep, though.
Not all the time.
Not all the time, but that's been a thing with my boyfriend. He gets cold really easily and he hates being cold. And I would, if I could, have the AC only for when I go to sleep. I would have the AC down at 64 with the ceiling fan on full blast because I think it's cozy to cover myself in comforters and pillows. I like to be, so where you look at that bed, it doesn't even look like a human is there. Like there's not even a bump. There's so many blankets.
So I am good with this. Like, take it down to 65 degrees, but don't do Arctic blast on me.
Well, to be fair,
you know, it's like I'm at the top of the Himalayas looking out to the east, you know. We've made it. No, it's too much for me. Are you are you like a cold person?
No.
No?
No, I feel like I set it to like 70 at night.
70? That's a little warm for me at night.
I know, but women like it warmer, from what I understand.
See, although my mom that's probably where I get it from. She likes it cold. My parents have slept in separate bedrooms forever, and my dad, part of it was my mom likes it so cold, and my dad can't be. It makes it. He hates being cold, much like it, and so he couldn't sleep in there. She would set her AC unit to like 62.
Wow, that's
blasted.
cold.
And in Syracuse, in the dead, and I grew up in Syracuse, which is
Yeah.
like winter capital of the world.
Yeah.
She would sleep with the windows open.
Yeah, that's insane.
When
That's
it was like
impressive.
negative 10 degrees
That's
and
insane.
snow would come in her room, and she was like, perfect. And she had a little Yorkie for 13 years that would literally burrow
Did it
under sheets.
die?
We were
Yeah.
like, you're gonna kill your dog.
Yeah.
Like
The dog's gonna freeze to death
would, like,
overnight.
burrow under all
Holy
these
shit.
comforters.
Yeah.
So this is actually kind of funny because Bruce and Zoe, that's two of our dogs, Bruce at around 3 or 4 a.m. will establish that it is too cold for him. And he propels himself up into the bed. And he knows I'm the friendly one. So he comes over and hits me and has to get under the covers with me because he's
yeah,
too,
so Bruce sides with you.
too cold. Yeah, he's like, it's too much.
Yeah.
Like,
He's like, this is absurd.
just way too much. We actually have separate comforters on the bed
Wow.
because my comforter is down and meant to keep me warm, and his is like, I don't know, who cares?
Yeah. Maybe you should just sleep in separate bedrooms.
Who
No,
cares?
I can't. I'm not ready to do that yet. Maybe later when I get grumpier.
Yeah.
Give me
I
another
love that.
10 years.
It's a whole other thing. I'm like, I love that.
The sleeping in separate
Yeah,
rooms.
if you feel like it.
When I was a kid, I thought my parents were strange. Now that I sleep every night with another human, it makes complete sense to me.
I love it.
There are nights where I go sleep I put myself out on the couch
Yeah.
because I just want my own space.
You need the space, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're getting up at different. I don't know. It's a whole other. Okay, there's 10 seconds.
I was
If
going to
there's
say,
anything else.
I struggle with anything outside of a king bed at this point for the two of us.
I'm
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, well, you're tall too.
Yeah, we're both kind of big people.
Yeah.
So
I'm a little girl. It doesn't matter.
Did you see us sleep? Oh, I did. I did.
And that's time.
I would love to talk about her at some point. It'll happen.
Wait, this almost felt like the day that you could talk about your wonderful grandmother. Another day.
Oh, my poor Grammy.
Sorry, we're talking about an inside joke.
Yeah. We'll hopefully make it an outside joke here at some point.
One of
Some
these
point.
days.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
Michael, your 10 minutes starts now.
Okay. AC units. Now, I pretty much always lived in cities, and I also grew up in a really old house where we didn't have like central air. So we always
Okay.
had to have those window AC units, which to this day, installing an AC unit to me is like one of the most perilous experiences.
You're like, is
You
it going to
can
go
do-
out the window?
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
dangling this heavy, awkward thing out a window. Like I'm shocked this is still the design. Like where you
Yeah.
have to like ding it and sort of like get the little
awful.
plastic notch to like just get inside the window frame, and then you have to hold it while like pulling the window back down to get it into
Which-
place.
Did you know that they make fancy ones now that are like a U?
Wait,
where there's the front part, there's a compressed center part, and then all the shit that hangs out the window. So you actually put the window down in the center of it,
Uh-huh.
and you minimize how open the window is.
Wait, but don't you still have to like hold it in place and then close the window? So either you need like one person to hold the unit and another person to close the window.
I feel like it would be easy to hold on to because at least you can hold that front part and
Oh,
really get
that's
your,
true.
your
Because the
hands
normal,
around
that's
it.
true. Because the normal ones, yeah, there's
You're
just like a
like
little bit of
reaching-
it is inside, and it's like, it's
Yeah, it's
terrifying
insane.
that you're going to drop it out the window. And then when I
People
moved
do.
to New York, forget it. I was like, this is how I kill someone.
Well, the thing
People do die.
I'm sure every year, I'm sure
Is
there's
it
a certain-
documented? Has it
Yes.
happened?
No, there's like stats. Oh yeah. It's like a substantial amount of people die from AC units
Falling out of
on.
windows.
dropping on them.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
that seems
for
like a
sure.
terrible
And yet
way
we're
to go.
afraid of sharks. This
Yeah.
is like when I learned that more people get killed by vending machines falling on them than do by
sharks.
sharks every year. And I was like,
Is that for bad behavior though? Are you like in there trying to get that Snickers?
that's what
Yeah,
it is. It's from
yeah.
people angrily shaking the vending machine and then it falls on them and then they die.
I might argue that's
Wow.
a worthy outcome.
It's just Darwinian.
Yeah. It is Darwinian.
That's true. As
So
opposed
is
to
the
sharks,
shark
it's just
thing.
yeah, it kind of is too.
Yeah.
Sharks are just like we're just doing our sharky
I guess
job.
that's accidental though, because they think it's
they think
seals.
you're delicious, but you're not.
That's
yeah.
true.
They think
They're
you're
just-
something you're not.
Yeah, they're just doing what
they
they're
don't know
supposed
that
to
we're
do.
full of mercury.
Oh,
Yeah.
this-
Reference from the past.
Oh, oh, that's right.
Full of mercury.
Yeah. So anyway, so I Oh my god, I could just talk about sharks. That's
I know,
what
I love sharks.
sharks. I have a new shark tracker app that I love.
Wait. Yeah, let's pause on that for a second. What
Yeah.
sharks are you tracking?
Just whatever sharks are tagged. It's called Sharktivity. And I love it. You go on and they're like tagged and you can see where they are. And if they have photos of them, you can click on them and some of them have names.
Oh wow.
Like right now, there's a whole bunch right around Brewster, Massachusetts, and up near Provincetown.
Oh.
And in Chatham, Massachusetts, there's a whole
What
there's
kind of shark?
a bunch. That one's a white shark sighting. There's
Which
yeah,
is
there's
different than a great white?
a great white shark.
Oh,
They
okay. I
just
was
call them
like,
white
is there a
Um,
good white?
sharks. Yeah, so
and a
that's
great
I do
white?
love that. So that's a fun little side
Okay.
thing.
It was just Bear Week up there. Maybe they're eating everything the bears left behind.
I know. Probably they're just getting scraps. But yeah, so AC units, holding them out. It's this. I think it to me it's so stressful and terrifying.
Yeah.
And even I helped a friend recently put hers in, And she was like, she had all these little bits of wood. And I was like, what are these for? And she was like, well, she lives in a really old building where outside the window, the cement like sill is really low.
Yeah.
Because somebody replaced the windows at some point in time, but they didn't quite fit. So she was like, so you have to like, my dad found all these little bits of wood that you have to pile up underneath and hold them in a certain way. I was like, this is a horrible system.
Just walk around and watch around New York City, and it looks like people do Jenga underneath the damn
It's
thing.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, the things we do to keep that's why I'm not surprised that people die every year from things falling on them. So I was thinking about things precariously hanging out of windows. And the first thing that popped into my head was something that looks like an AC unit, but is not an AC unit. It's a baby cage.
What?
Have you seen these photos? So from the turn of the century, there was this craze. It didn't fully catch on in New York. It was really big in London.
Okay.
Michael Jackson liked them, didn't he?
Called baby.
I was like, the first thing I thought of was Michael Jackson holding that kid.
Well,
That was
so
the
we're
first
on
thing
the
I
same
thought of.
wavelength. The babies hanging out of
Yeah,
windows.
yeah.
So I will show you guys a photo. We can share it after. I don't know if
Okay.
you've
Is
ever
that so they can
seen
get vitamin
these.
D?
Yeah, so it's if you're not looking.
Yeah, describe this photo.
It's a woman looking outside her window at a cage that looks like a small like
Dog crate.
dog crate that's suspended.
I mean, I do believe
From the
that's
window.
what children should be in.
Yeah,
like
and there's
imagine
a baby
an
in
AC unit, but
there's
there's
a baby in
instead
it.
of an air conditioner, there's a child in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh my god.
yeah. So this started around the turn of the century when a lot of people were living in tenements.
Yeah.
And they were concerned about their babies, and babies were getting sick and dying, obviously.
Yeah.
And so this one,
What a horrible
Well, no, so-
time.
That's.
There's
Have
a
you seen a
difficult-
baby that's born with? I'm going to get this wrong. Billy Rubin, is that right? Billy
Buildings, Roman? I don't know.
Billy Rubin is, and they're like yellow. They're kind of like yellow when they're born.
Jaundice?
And it's like it's not jaundice, but it's an abundance.
Okay.
I'm probably not getting this right, but it's an abundance of Billy Rubin, and the way that you help the baby get rid of it is you expose them to the sun.
oh,
Yeah,
Okay.
for a little bit every day,
huh.
and it's not unusual for newborns.
Well, this baby cage would be perfect for that.
Yeah.
So this one doctor came out with a book in 1884, Dr. Luther Emmett Holt. He was a pioneering pediatrician. He worked at New York's first baby hospital, as they put it. So he advocated for airing out infants and literally, quote unquote, airing them out to renew and purify their blood.
Not too far off.
So
Not too bad.
So a big thing with that was like putting babies near open windows. Now, obviously, that was not a great idea. So first he
Yeah.
said, like, just put them near an open window.
Okay.
But a lot of at the time, like people were busy. Moms had like 14 children. Occasionally, babies would just fall out the window. So someone, let me see if I can find her
The
name.
doctor told me to
Yeah,
put
exactly.
it there.
Mrs. Robert C. Lafferty from Baltimore and New York, both, came up with this cage-like contraption that would stick out of a window like a modern-day air conditioner.
There
It's
you
what they
go.
say. In which a baby can safely be placed. Now, fun factoid, Eleanor
Safely.
Roosevelt had actually also accidentally invented one around 22, when she had her daughter, Alice, her first daughter.
Okay.
And she thought she needed fresh air, and she and FDR were living in a small townhouse in New York. And she used chicken wire and
Wow.
hung the baby out the window because she thought maybe it'd be good for the baby. But the baby would Alice would scream. And then finally, local officials forced her to take it down.
We're like, don't hang your baby out the window, please.
Yeah, basically 1920s version of CPS came in and was like, stop hanging your child out the window from chicken wire. And Eleanor Roosevelt. And then later she was like, haha, I was ahead of my time, because then it became like a craze. Not as much in New York, because then later another woman named Emma Reed patented the baby cage. She made a safer version, which had a better roof and a better bottom in case it rained. Or people would also throw things out their window, so it would protect the baby from getting just detritus thrown on it.
Oh my
But then the
God.
sides were made of wiring. So the occupant of the cage cannot possibly fall out and is protected against rain and snow and enjoys the healthful advantages of unlimited fresh air.
gosh.
In pleasant weather, the child may be kept all day in its outdoor house, eating, sleeping, and amusing itself therein while under observation from inside the room. Now, note, there was also chain that went across the front so the baby couldn't crawl back inside.
Wow.
I think this is kind of brilliant because, listen, if you're not a baby person, but it's 1925 and you're being forced to pump out babies and you're like, I have 14 kids in a 1-bedroom apartment,
That's
and you
fair.
can take one baby and stick it in a cage out the window. Like,
You're in
that
business.
baby's loud. You can shut that window.
Yeah.
Like, I thought these were hilarious. Yeah,
We have
it
2
only
minutes.
kind of took off in New York. London, people would rush to buy these baby cages.
Oh my God.
But yeah, then later, Eleanor Roosevelt was like, yeah, see, I was completely ahead of my time. But the pictures, if you just Google baby cages, they're kind of
Bizarre.
like adorable. Like this one. There's another one where it's taken from the side and this baby is
Wow.
straight
That's
up just like
insane.
hanging
Yeah,
out
this
the side of a
baby's
tall
just-
building.
Chilling. I mean, it's what it sounds like. It's a baby in a cage out a window.
Yeah. And although my thought was like early 20th century New York, how clean was the air outside?
I
yeah,
was thinking the
that's
same
probably
thing
true.
as soon as
Was
you brought
this
it up.
really better for
Yeah.
these kids? 'Cause
Probably.
The air quality was probably pretty awful.
So I think it just speaks to how horrible the time was in general, that they were like, the only thing, we can do that's a little bit better than having this kid inside with all of us is putting it in a cage outside
and
in the
hanging
pollution.
it out the window.
Yeah, that's the only thing better than it being in this room with 40 people and getting diseases. It's like,
Yeah.
we'll just put it outside with all the
All the other diseases.
pollution. Yeah. Yikes.
But yeah, that's why I was wondering, because they usually come up on those famous Depression era pictures, sometimes where
Yeah.
they're like, can you believe? And it's this beautiful black and white photo of this very cherubic looking baby
Yeah.
just hanging in a cage outside of a skyscraper.
Like, help.
Could you ever see it being a craze now?
No.
Because we are like helicopter parent McGee's these days.
Yeah. It's like,
Like-
parents don't even want their kids to go to summer camp without them little.
Yeah.
They're not going to
Yeah.
put them out the window.
Like they can't even go to the bathroom alone, let
Exactly.
alone hang outside of a window in a mesh cage.
Or go to job interviews. I've heard that's a thing now. Like some kids take their parents to job interviews now.
What?
Yes,
Yeah, I read
my dad
about
sent me
that.
an article on that of like, you're
Oh my God, I want to take
Everyone's
my mom
crazy.
to a job interview with me. My mom would be hysterical.
that would be fun.
She'd be like, don't hire my son. He doesn't sound qualified.
Okay, we just ran out of time.
Oh,
for some
but that's
reason.
baby cages. So
That's
AC
baby
units
cages.
made me think of baby
Big
cages.
Love it.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh my God, I hate having to pick a winner, and that's my
you
only
don't.
job.
That's literally
Your numerology suggests you love this.
Actually,
That's
yeah, you're big on equilibrium.
I am big on equilibrium.
And harmony.
And harmony.
Um,
Yeah. So
And
Ryan,
symmet-
you get the win. Michael's won a couple. You want to balance it out?
There we go. Well, you
All
should shut that
about
door on
quality.
yourself.
I did, damn it. I thought I was getting into it around on that one. I was so pumped.
Yeah. Fair's fair.
I even referenced one of those famous lesbians of all time, Eleanor
Oh
Roosevelt.
yeah, she's the best.
Yeah.
That was by the way, I thought that in the back of my mind. I was like, oh my God, I want to say she's a lesbian. But thank you for
Yeah, there we
covering
go.
that. Yeah.
I just love Eleanor Roosevelt. I think she's so
Everyone
cool.
does.
I love the
She was cool.
Roosevelts. They're
Except
just-
until CPS
crazy.
got called on her because she hung her baby outside of her window.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, not great. Not too many famous people have hung babies outside windows. It's like chill.
Yeah. Like really brilliant, accomplished people have done this.
Yeah, stop.
Michael Jackson was behind the times.
Yeah, it's bizarre. Like,
Yeah.
Maybe don't hang your children outside of it. Okay.
Maybe.
Okay. Next week is going to be biscuit.
Biscuit.
Biscuits. I love biscuits.
A thing we both love. Oh my God, you just got so southern.
Biscuit.
Biscuits.
Biscuit.
Biscuit.
Yeah. Biscuit.
Sausage and gravy and biscuits.
Ooh, that
fire.
kind of biscuit. There's
Oh.
so many types of biscuits. I'm excited. There's so many avenues you can take
That's true.
with the biscuit
Yeah.
prompt.
Yeah. All right, on that
Okay.
note, I'm going to go build a baby cage and I'm just going to climb in it and sit outside.
You can sleep out because it's too cold.
Oh my
Inside.
God. You could put that on a New
Yeah,
York
why don't
apartment.
you
call
sleep
it
in a baby cage?
Oh, that's right. This would solve your problem.
What do you mean?
Just put James in a baby cage in winter.
and hang him out the window
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
shut it and
Yeah.
be like, cold enough for you, babe?
No, it's
Sleep
a baby.
well.
You're like, I got this for you, babe. It's a babe cage.
That's gonna be
Babe
a big
cage.
baby cage, though.
Yeah.